Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. I am really excited for tonight's live call because we have some totally obsessed tennis players that are going to join us in about 10 minutes, which I'm excited to bring on because I really want to tonight kind of have a little workshop, if you will, and so we all set some goals together. My big goal for tonight's call is to really help everybody tap into their full potential by tapping into their 10%. Okay, that 10% rule of really being focused on the important parts of your game, not chasing too many shiny objects, and kind of losing focus. I think it's really easy to do. We all do it. In our lives we do it too, where we know, like, okay, if I just did these couple things and nothing else, I'd probably get further down the road. And I think we fall victim to that a lot on our tennis games. So I kind of want to help us really steer the ship straight and focus on the most important things that are going to give us the most improvement. It's going to be different for different people. That's why we're going to kind of do like a little workshop tonight. As you come on in, I see people are coming in. Tell me where you're from, and also kind of where you're from and what's life like right now. Are you currently in lockdown? That's another part that we kind of have to talk about, I guess, tonight is, how are we doing? Are we in lockdown? What's going on with our tennis and how much we're able to play? And that will help us adjust our goals as well. I'm going to show you guys an inspirational video, though, that kind of gives us no excuse. And also, it's going to be a part of our point. Let's see, this sounds pretty garbled. Does anybody else have this problem? So you guys do not hear me clearly. Is that what I'm hearing? That's not good. I sound bad? Audio is very garbled. Not good. Yes, bad. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, guys, Gordon and Brad, you stayed there. We got a couple of you backstage. I'm going to log off and log back on, and hopefully it'll be better. Okay. So stay put. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Do I sound better? Much better. Okay, I'm getting thumbs up from backstage. Much better. All right, cool. Thank you guys for joining. So tonight, you guys probably didn't hear very much of what I was saying. I guess I sounded really bad. But what I was trying to say is tonight we're going to do a little workshop. We're going to see how it goes, and we're going to help you guys find your 10%. And how we're going to do that is by helping you find your big why. So much better, says Christopher. Cool. Okay, so now that you guys can hear me, start listing. Here's a couple questions I want to ask you guys before we start. Number one is, are you in lockdown? Let me know if you are in lockdown and where you're from. So let me know that. That's number one question. I'm going to wait for some answers, and then I'm going to show you guys a pretty cool video. Because as you know, and I've got my Australian Open hat on, the Australian Open is getting ready to happen, and those players are in lockdown right now. So I'm waiting for some answers. Let me know, are you guys in lockdown or no lockdown? Not in lockdown in New York City. Yes, in Washington State. Okay, so Michael's out in Washington State. Yes, Hillary in Ontario, she's in lockdown. So that's more people in lockdown than not. Let me hear a couple more people. You guys in lockdown or not? Make sure you comment. I want tonight to be very interactive. Wait for one more, and then I want to share my screen and show you guys something. Okay, so we're in lockdown. The Australian Open players, no in Houston, okay? The Australian Open players are also in lockdown. I'm going to share my screen. I want to show you guys a video that's going to be inspirational, I hope. So I'm going to come here and put this in, and then that's our live stream. We don't need that. Right here. Okay. Who has seen this video? As you know, the Australian Open's getting ready to start here, and the players are over there. They're in lockdown, but look at the things that they're doing. This girl right here, she's rallying against her mattress, doing footwork and shadow strokes, putting up target on her window and working on her backhand topspin roll shot, working on footwork. Hitting against the mattress. Running like crazy. There's Tsitsipas working. You guys ever work with one of these little rock balls that can go all kinds of different directions? Footwork. I think that's Shapovalov. Working on volleys. More sprints. This one's pretty funny.
No. You should go through more with the ball. Stay on the side and jump inside. Jump inside the court. Go! Bravo!
Okay. So, I love that video. I'm going to remove that from the screen. So were you guys able to see that? And so, to me, not in Florida, no Fort Worth, no Maryland. So a lot of you guys are able to play, yes, in Texas. Okay, so it's a mix. The greatest players in the world right now, they're in lockdown. But Rick is here, but he's not on with his picture. I'm about to bring some people in, but what I wanted to point out there was that why are they doing that in their room? It's because they know their why. Okay, they know their why. They're pros. That's why they're doing it. They love tennis. It's their passion. That's why they're doing it. And a lot of those exercises, even though they're in lockdown, I guarantee you they do them everywhere all the time. Even when they're home and there's no lockdown, I guarantee you they're doing footwork exercise in their house. I guarantee you they're doing shadow strokes in their house, because tennis, it's their passion, and they know exactly why they're playing, and they know what their goals are, and they know what they're trying to achieve. So that's what I want to kind of go through tonight. And I'm about to bring some totally obsessed tennis players on. They're all part of Next Level University. So I'm about to bring in Gordon, Brad, and Rick. So here's Gordon, all the way from Oxford. Here's Brad, are you in Iowa right now or in Florida? Florida. And here's Rick from Canada.
Hello.
And they are obsessed with tennis. And so what I thought we could do tonight is kind of like a nice goal setting exercise. So be ready to look in your chat, and you can actually fill this out with me and write in your answers for yourself. You can keep this, submit it, keep it. You can look back at your answers throughout the year so you know why you're playing tennis this year and what your goals are. And also then take your answers and post it in the chat here so we can all see each other, okay? Christopher says, I read today that players are in lockdown for 14 days, but they're allowed to practice 5 hours a day. That's only some people. Many people are, and that's a little bit of a controversy. Some people are they have to stay in their hotel room. Other people are allowed to practice. It all depends on the flight you came in and things like that. So anyway, I just put in the chat section, I just put in a worksheet. And what I want everybody to do, it's a doc that looks like this. Let me show this. Why isn't that showing? I'm trying to show it. Anyway, it's not letting me, so I'm not going to worry about it. But do you guys have your worksheet with you guys? My totally obsessed tennis players. If you don't worry about it.
It's right in my head.
Not a big deal. It's in your hand.
Head.
Okay. So the first question, in your head. The first question I want to ask, we'll start with Gordon, because I think this is a super important question. It's, why do you play tennis, Gordon? Why do you play?
Pete, it sounds as though I shouldn't be, but I love it. I mean, I started when I was 6. My parents had 2 courts. They had a grass court and they had a hard court, an en-tout-cas. We was just playing on the en-tout-cas. In England, if your parents loved you, they send you off to school. You never see them for 10 years. And I played quite a lot of lovely schools on lovely courts, grass courts. Then I started playing real tennis for my 20s, 30s, 40s, which is real court tennis or royal tennis. And then I came back to it in my 50s and 60s, playing lawn tennis more seriously. It's a fascinating game. It's a difficult game. My wife plays. She wanted me to build a court. We built 2 of those, which is great. You get a chance to, go around. I've got friends pretty much everywhere from in Europe, having played all around Europe in ITFs. I got invited out to California by delightful Swede. Played over there. Have racket, will travel.
Very cool. So he loves it. Been part of his life for a long time. All kinds of different racket sports, guys. As we have Brad answering and Rick answering, then I'm going to answer why I play tennis. I want to also, you guys write in your form that I just sent you, and also put your answers in the chat so we can see why you are playing tennis. Brad, why do you play tennis?
I'm a little different than Gordon. I didn't play as a kid. I played basketball, football, baseball, those things. And then in college, picked up a tennis racket because my girlfriend, who's now my wife, played a little bit and we could socialize. And it was fun and I liked it. So then we played and we tried golf, and that didn't go quite as well. But then we had kids and we had our careers and we had everything else. And so fast forward all the way till my 60s. And then all of a sudden tennis was there. And we got a place in Florida and I had a court real nearby, like 100 feet away. Started playing again, really liked it. I found it was social. You can meet a lot of people playing tennis. You can have fun. There's a sense of accomplishment as you improve. There's some competition. You kind of feel good about the things. One of the things that I think really a lot of people don't appreciate is that tennis gives you a level of fitness, and maybe not crazy fitness, but a good level of fitness. But it also gives you a mental fitness. And as we age, it's good to be fit. I mean, Alzheimer's, dementia, all those things are so critical in the population. And tennis, you have to make a million decisions in a short amount of time. And where you want to hit the ball, how it's coming in, where you're moving to it, all these things. And I think the more you do that and the more you keep your brain active, the better off you're going to be. So it's a lifelong sport and I love it.
I think you hit on a big point there too. That's super important for people. And I do know we have a lot of members over the age of 50, and I think it's great. Tennis is the #1 sport for longevity, and I believe it's because of the physical and the mental. And I also think that that's why it's good that you guys are doing online instruction, because you're not just trying to stay stagnant. You're actually trying to add new things to your game, which I think is really important, even if you don't get to the exact thing you're trying to do. Hillary says it's a game where you can constantly improve. Rick, why do you play tennis? Why do you play?
Well, I've been playing at an early age, and I played football for 10 years, and then I played racquetball for 10, then went back into tennis. I love to compete. I'm a very competitive person by choice, always have been. But tennis is one of those sports that you can be more of an individual sport and a team sport. You can do both, and I do both. I play doubles. I play on a team. I also play singles as well, and it's one of the few sports where you can do all three, which is great. It also, when you latch onto something you like, it gives you purpose. Purpose to be better at whatever you're doing, whether it's tennis or golf. And I find that in tennis, where it does give me purpose to become better. I love the social aspect of it. Most of my friends now are tennis friends. It just works out that way because you're on the court so much. You go into tournaments in your club, you just become friends. And there's so many other things why I do it, but I would say those were the key ones I mentioned.
Yeah, very cool. Another thing too, Rick, I hate to do this, but I did take myself off the air for a second. There's something going on with your audio, so you might want to disconnect and come back and see if that works, because you some words came through super clear, and then other times I think everybody's having trouble hearing you. So I would log off and then log back on, and maybe that will correct it.
Yep.
Okay, guys,
Yep.
very good answer. So far we're hearing social, and we really loved it. I think everybody's done a really good job with answering why they play tennis, but I think we can also go deeper, because the deeper your why, the more you stay with it and you keep improving when things aren't going great. So for me, why did I play tennis specifically in juniors? Like, what was it? What was it that I found through tennis? And I was thinking about it as I came up with the question. I was like, it really was a way for me to express myself. There are so many ways to express yourself through tennis, at least for me. It was a way for me to express my anger. It was a way, to my aggression. The feeling of being able to, take everything out on a tennis ball, hit the tennis ball as hard as you possibly could, and how awesome that feels. And at the same time, it's something that's actually productive. You're not actually getting in a fight. You're not getting in trouble. So it's like, I found a very good way to express, your aggression and your anger at times. It was also a way to express the softer side of you, the drop shots, the touch shots, the lobs over the head, the delicate part. I think also you tap into tennis. Another thing that I found through tennis was it was a way to express joy. When you hit a great shot, how awesome that feels. And so it brings out the joy, the disappointment of loss. I mean, it really is a mirror of life. And so, for me, when I really figured out that this is how I express myself in a productive way, and can get a lot of feelings out that maybe you can't get out verbally, tennis became a big part of me, and I needed it. And I also, it was a way that I really built my self-identity. My first year playing tournaments, I ended up being #1 in the state. So then after that, it gave me a sense of like who I am as a person and goal setting. And so once it became part of me, things that were obstacles, like, for example, my first probably major obstacle as a tennis player was I was winning a lot of matches, but I was serving with the wrong grip. And it felt good to serve with the wrong grip. I knew how to get the serve in. I won matches. And I remember when a coach, I was about 11 years old, and he was this Australian guy, and he's like, you need to change your grip. He's like, you don't even really have a real serve, is what he told me. Because he just didn't cut any punches. And, as an 11-year-old, that really hurt my feelings, because I already thought I was great, at tennis. And then when he put the continental grip in showed me how to hold it and then to serve, I remember being very frustrated and thinking, well, there's no way I'm ever going to do this, and maybe I can get away with not doing it. And then I started watching matches on TV, and I realized, oh my gosh, everybody's holding the grip. I started to really look at the grip, and I'm like, every single pro is holding the grip exactly like he said to. And then I started to really notice the older kids at the tournaments who were winning all the matches. And I started to look and I go, oh, wow, they have the same grip that the coach was talking about and that the pros are talking about. So then it became a very strong why for me, like why I needed to change my grip and I need to get it right, because if I didn't, then I was going to get left behind. And that fear of getting left behind in something that I so strongly connected with was a big motivator. And I remember for 30 days straight, I literally served every serve into the side curtain. I was facing the deuce side and I'd hit every serve into the ad side curtain because I played indoors. But I did not ever give up. And I just focused. This taps into the why and the 10% rule, because I didn't focus on anything else. I wasn't trying to learn how to volley. I wasn't trying to learn how to hit a topspin shot. I wasn't learning how to take the ball in the rise. I didn't focus really on any. Of course, I was still playing tennis and working on this stuff, but it wasn't my major focus. Like my major focus was get comfortable with this continental grip before you work on anything else. So just focusing on that 10% of the serve, which was the grip, and getting it right and getting comfortable with it before I focus on anything else. And then once I got that, then I started to really, start to master a slice serve. And then once I mastered the slice serve, then I started to learn how to hit a kick serve. But it's so tempting with all the emails that, we send and everything. I mean, I know that we're part of the solution, also part of the problem online, is that, it can be hard to figure out what to focus on. But you want to know your why. Why are you playing tennis? And what do you want out of your game? And when things get in the way, really going back to your why, that's that simple why of why are you playing, it can really help you. I love tennis is a good reason, but is it going to get you through your big why? You know what I mean? So that's question number one. Okay, let's go. Wide world of sports. Love to play. No, there was no more answers. Let's bring Rick back and let's do a sound check in with Rick. Rick, can you just talk for a couple minutes? How are you feeling, Rick?
I'm feeling great. Can you hear me better now?
That sounded good. It kind of goes like slow and then loud. I mean, low and then loud. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's question number one. Number two, guys, I want you guys to write them in more too. Definitely give this some thought. And maybe even after this live stream is over, you can go back and change your answers too, everybody listening, to give it even more thought. Okay. So we got, why do we play? Now, this is kind of the similar question, but a little different. So why do you like tennis? Brad, why do you like tennis?
I like it because it's outdoors, for one. My whole career I was an eye surgeon. And in an eye doctor's office, you have no windows. Everything's dark. You go in the dark, because I lived in the north in the winter, and you come home in the dark, pretty much in the dark all the time. And in tennis, you're outside. I look out and I look at the sunshine, and it just makes me happy. And I agree with you. My life was, 3 millimeters was the largest cut I made. That's 1/8 of an inch. And in tennis, you're creating your own shots. You can blast away. You can hit drop shots. You can hit everything. It's just, you just have so much freedom and creativity on the court. It's just amazing. And so it's kind of like, I don't know who it was that said this, but you're sort of the author of your shots. I think it was Tim Galloway in his book. Yeah. But you're kind of like, you're the author and you're creating something there. And then other people say, you get a rhythm, you get music, you get everything. It's just got a lot of benefits for me to be outdoors and just play.
Good. And guys, that's a great answer. Make sure that you comment and let me know why you guys like tennis. Gordon, how about you? Why do you like the sport?
I think we all enjoy the fact we see our friends. We all enjoy the fact that we can travel a lot, being around Europe and the States. And it's great to meet up with friends from Sweden or wherever it is. It's very sensuous hitting the ball, with the strings. I like loose strings with no dampener to generate pace, the topspin, the slice. you get great feelings on it. And also, I enjoy playing indoors, but there's something magnificent about being outside in sunshine, particularly on grass, on a perfect summer's day. It's idyllic.
Very nice. What about you, Rick? Why do you like tennis?
Well, I work out, but I don't like working out. So I love tennis.
That's a good one.
Also, with working out, I dress completely different when I play tennis. I like the fact you can dress, a little upscale. You can go into a store and pick a nice tennis shirt, shorts, and you can dress to the nines sometimes on the tennis court. So I like that fact too, because at work I don't wear jeans at work ever. It's just the way I am. So this is like part of me where I pick out fashionably some nice clothes. I like that fact. I like the fact. I also love the fact that you're just playing people of different age groups. In a tournament, I could be playing a 14-year-old superstar junior because that's the way the round robin was at our club. Or I could play someone who's 75. I like that because people are very friendly regardless of the age group. So I like that fact, those two things.
I think that's pretty neat what you just said there too at the end is the fact that you guys can play different people, different ages, all kinds of different styles. So you can always, test yourself. It's definitely a different test to play somebody who's 14 and maybe hits a big ball, but there's a way to beat that person, like maybe they've never really seen a good slice. And then playing somebody who's 75, who, is a master of placement and running you all over the court. And you're just like, wow, how do I, end up winning this match? So I think that's really cool. For me, now, let's see, Mr. Pink says it's a beautiful game. You can make lots of friends and get fitness. So two main things I really liked about tennis that really drew me to the game. Number one is I loved all the sports. I love basketball. Like I love the sport of basketball. I like football. I like baseball. But what really attracted me to tennis, what I really liked about tennis was that everything was up to me. I like the idea that, and I think McEnroe kind of said this too, is I like the idea that, if I make a shot, I made the shot. If I miss the shot, I missed the shot, and so it's that idea of, being able to look at what you're doing. And then also it's kind of nice not to let somebody else down. You know what I mean? So being on a team, I just liked all the responsibility of tennis to where I just said, hey, if I win today, it's on me. If I lose today, it's on me. And I just really, really liked that. And then the other thing that I really liked about tennis, and I think this is super important for improvement, is, and I noticed that a lot of the kids that I've taught after I grew up, a lot of the kids who get really good, they really love the artistry of the game and the detail of the shot. Because with the racket face, if you want to swing fast and if the racket face is slightly off, you're not going to make the shot. The technique has got to be baked in for it to work at a high level, and to come in and be able to serve and volley and put it exactly where you want, you've got to do a lot of work on the technique. And so I just really look at tennis as moving art. And so I just love to develop the technique and study it and watch people hit the ball and then mimic it. And, now that we have video, you can film yourself. And I just really think that that's important. When I watch the kids who have excelled and even the adults who've excelled, when I've taught them, they love picking up on the technique and getting really, really detailed and always being obsessed with it. And I think that that's a big, important factor of getting yourself to the next level. And so then it's, again, going back to the 10% rule. If you're looking at your technique and you realize that one part of your technique is off, it's getting obsessed with that one piece and just trying to do as many shadow strokes, trying to film yourself as much and get the feeling of what it feels like when it's right. And even though I always wanted to be ranked at a certain level, you have to separate the two. You don't want to get a certain, I mean, you do, but you don't. It's a catch-22. Like, you don't want to get so obsessed with your ranking of being like a 3.5 or a 4.0, and you think like, this is why I've got to really improve my technique. That can be part of the goal, but you have to really enjoy the art of developing the technique. I think that's super important. Just like a dancer really loves to learn the dance moves, rather than just like, I want to dance because I want to win a trophy. I think people are like really good dancers. They love the art of every single piece of the movement. And so they're willing to repeat it over and over again. And that's what we noticed with our Australian Open video. Look at how how enthusiastic those pros who are now young adults were running around their hotel room like little kids. And I think that that's super important. Christopher says, why do I like tennis? Consistently challenging myself. Every point, every game is unique. Opportunity is to climb a ladder. Frustration and accomplishment. Awesome. I love it. Okay. We're going to go to the next question, guys. This one's a little more personal, and I want you guys to answer too in the video chat. Brad, we're going to start with you again. Why do you lose matches? Why do you lose matches?
Well, I've got a lot of experience to draw from on this one. Sometimes I'm overmatched, but that's rare. Sometimes they can't miss. That's rare. Sometimes I'm playing crappy. That's rare. You have a range and you play within that range, and the better you get, the narrower that range gets. And so anyway, but the most of it is mental and strategy. If I'm tight, then I don't play well. If I'm trying to think ahead, think behind, think what just happened, think I'm up, 40 love, and last time I did this, I lost the game, or whatever it is, then that's never a good thing. And so, Bill Murray has a quote. I love quotes. If you're relaxed, you do better at everything. That's Bill Murray. Anyway, so thinking too much and negative thinking. If I think, this is important, I better not double fault, then I've got to stop, take a breath, and just say, no, I'm glad I recognized it. Thanks for doing that. But this one is going in, and I can see it go in. And so actually Next Level University, with the mental and TennisCon with that, opened up a whole new world. You had some wonderful people on there that gave me a lot of different techniques, rituals, and that's okay. Those negative thoughts are going to be there. They're okay, but you just let them go and you replace them with positive. Why not me? Why not, me hitting the big shot right now or whatever? And then all of a sudden, even if I don't, I feel better that I went for it. So those are the reasons that I may lose.
What about you, Gordon? I know you've been on a winning streak, and but
Gordon,
when you do,
lose.
Yeah, well,
when you do lose, why do you lose?
That was 2020. Well, I played quite a lot on ITFs, and you get badly overmatched. I played a guy who was world number 1 on grass, and he cut me to shreds. I played a guy who was world number 3 or 4 on clay, and it was the reverse. Everything went over my head. But normally when I had a great season at home. The guys I lost to were the people who could serve and volley on grass. It was very impressive. And, I think Brad Gilbert says you sometimes just have to shake your head and say, good for you. But I don't think I lose too many matches out of my own volition. It's being overmatched. And to be frank, we're getting a bit older. We've got the bad backs like you. It's hard to keep the athleticism up.
Yes.
But I don't think I let myself down mentally too much.
That's really good. And I think that's kind of like where we all kind of want to get to. And I will say, and these are three totally obsessed tennis players, and the most obsessed tennis player who's always working on his game is Gordon. Like every time we do a challenge, he sends a video in every single day. And so I think that kind of translates to, how I know certainly when I'm playing my best tennis, I'm in that mode where you feel like, okay, I'm doing all the right things every day. I'm working on the things, I'm consistent. And so you feel confident and you trust yourself. And so what Gordon just said is like, when I lose, I don't really feel like it's my fault, which I feel the opposite. Most people, I think, when they do lose, feel like it is their fault. Like they could have done better. They could have done more. They're a little disappointed in how they played. So I think that's a testament to kind of Gordon's work ethic, because I certainly see it, because he's always going through every course and saying every video. And so I think that probably helps him mentally on the court. Would you say that that's fair, Gordon?
Yeah, absolutely. And you give me terrific help. And then when you do come across these really great players who you've got to play, you acknowledge what they do and you learn from them. The guy who cut me to shreds on the grass court, learned a lot from him. More in that hour and a half than any other lesson, as to how you can play on grass. And there's no shame in it.
Absolutely. Rick, why do you lose matches when you lose? What's usually the reason?
Well, I think at least with me, there are a couple things I want to different spectrums of that. The first one is definitely my mental side, where I would get down on myself. My doubles partners mentioned it to me to calm me down, and I'm trying to work on that. And TennisCon 4 is amazing. There's some mental aspects of it that I've taken for it, but I think it's, if you look at yourself, say 2 years or 3 years ago, and you look at the type of players you're playing this year, you try to set your sights on playing the higher level players. So losing is something that's going to happen. I remember my club pro told me, you want to get better, you got to get your butt kicked. And I think he's right to a point. And yeah, that's what I did, at least this year when tennis was going on. I tried to play better players, knowing that the outcome might not go in my favor, but it does bring up your level of play as long as you understand why you're losing and different reasons behind that. So, the mental part is a big part of it for me that I still need to work on.
The mental part. That's good stuff, Rick. Rick, I hate to do this, man, but we're getting every other word. So
okay,
maybe we'll try one more time. Maybe go off and come back one more time, and we can't get it. We won't get it. But the thing is what you're saying is so good. So I caught most of that. So what Rick was saying was, the mental part of tennis is why I feel he loses. For me, when I lose, I feel that it's looking back. It's maybe those big moments in a match where you want it so bad that you hold off on pulling the trigger, and so when I was playing really, really well, to avoid that is I would just practice so much on all the shots, especially a lot of mid-court stuff. And when you go to tournaments, you'll notice that a lot of pros are practicing short approach shots over and over and over again. And I think a lot of recreational players don't practice that shot enough. The pros, when they get a shot in the midcourt, it's automatic. And when you think about it, you're used to being behind the baseline. Then all of a sudden it's a big point. You got to move in. The court gets real small, real quick. And then you've got to be aggressive. that, and you're also thinking, well, it's a great opportunity. It's an easy ball, right? But it's not easy. That's what's so elusive about it. It's not easy. It's tough to move in quickly. You're moving fast, you're getting the ball, then you got to pull the trigger, and you got to almost put it away or set yourself up for an easy volley. So I think really practicing the important shots that are going to be the big shots to go for in the big moments, you want to practice those a lot, and then also put yourself into pressure situations within that, playing games against people, or your coach keeping score, you keeping score, how many you're making, because I know that when I had that dialed in the big moments, I would make it. But if I didn't feel sharp, that's those couple points when you got to go for it and you don't, that can really, really turn a match around. Almost every match you're going to play, if you look at the percentages, it's very close to a 50-50 match. Even if you lose 6-3, 6-3, you're probably still winning, over 45% of the points. So it's those big moments, knowing the right thing to do, how much to go for it, how much not to go for it. Okay, let's see. Tarpley says, when I lose, let me see if I can put this in there. I don't know why it's not going in there tonight. But he said, when I lose, it's usually because I'm playing someone younger, former college player. I usually do well with people my age. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to bring Rick back. And now we're going to go into when you win, Brad, why you usually win.
Yeah, I win because I'm focused, because I'm in the moment, because I'm not thinking of anything else. I've played where I'm surprised that the set's over sometimes, believe it or not. I've been so focused on the point. And if I put in the work and I've gone and I am obsessed a little bit. I do a journal. So if I play and I go back and I get feedback usually from losses, but even from wins, on errors and other things, then I go out and practice and I focus on those things. I focus on, okay, why is this shot going that way? And I look at my technique, and if it's one or two little things, then that's what I'm tweaking to try and do it. And then when I play in a match, I try and not think of that. I try and just, if I think of one thing, that may be it, like prepare early, that, or, watch the ball into the racket like the Fed focus, a nanosecond longer. Keep your eye right on that. You know where it's going to go, and then trust in it and just go out and play. Just play. Those are the matches that I have the most fun with, that I thought, it's kind of like the handcuffs come off, the weights come off, everything. And it's a fun game.
Very cool. What about you, Gordon? When you win, why do you usually win? What do you do that has you win matches?
Probably because I've analyzed the person I'm playing against, seen the weakness and worked on that. And I've developed a game where I keep the ball low, don't give the person what they want. We'll try and get up to the net. You've helped me a lot with my first serve. The percentage on that's 80s now, 80%. You've cleaned up my volley, which is much, much better now on the forehand volley. It was too much slice on it before. And by using those on grass and AstroTurf, which is what I've been playing on for the last year on lockdown, it's an unpleasant game for the other person to play against. And that's what I try and persevere with. I'm not trying to make any friends when I play. It's not a pretty game, but it's effective. And I think I'm pretty good at applying my mind. And this last year, I won quite a lot of matches, having lost the first set, which was good. I kept tough and I kept concentrated and had a reasonably professional approach to it all.
Very cool. Great answers. I love the idea of analyzing the competition, which Jorge Capestany talks a lot about. And I love that idea. I think it's super important. Rick?
I think also
Yeah.
a lot of, sorry, I was just saying that a lot of people, you know, your one of your emails this week was, it's not all about the topspin. And I think that's absolutely
Yeah.
right. A lot of young guys come and they want to hit topspin in the middle of the court and they run around their backhands. You can really take advantage of that, particularly on a fast, low bouncing court.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
Very good. Rick, let's see how we go. Why do you win matches?
Can you hear me? Okay.
It's going to go in and out. So maybe try and hit your main points as quick as possible because you give a lot of great points, but we are going to have trouble hearing you, I think.
Oh, okay. I win because I volley. That's the strongest part of my game. If I'm volleying well, chances are I'm going to win most times. And when I don't volley well, I don't win. And it just works out that way. You know, that's part of it. The other part is the practice that I do. The practice on the court, the lessons, the online tennis, working on your fitness, all that leads up to winning matches in the long run. But to me, it's all about how to volley. I serve and volley, I volley and I poach. And if I'm doing that well, then I'm winning more of my matches, unless it's a 5.0 and I gave that person a good match. It's fine.
That's good. Rick said one thing I think that's super important. He said I win matches because also the stuff I do off the court, you know, doing the online instruction he mentioned, doing the fitness, doing the practice. And that's one of the things for me is when I felt really confident going into the match, I felt like, okay, I'm doing all the right things. You know, how well prepared you are. And sometimes I'd go into tournaments extremely well prepared and feel really confident. And, you know, the chances that I do well in the tournament went up dramatically because of that. And then other times you feel like, okay, you've been working out, you've been training, but, you know, have you been doing all you can do? And sometimes, you know, to be honest, the answer was no sometimes. And so, you know, that really takes away from your confidence. So before matches even started, that would be a big deal for me, knowing if I'm going to win is, you know, how confident was I? Did I feel like I was just really, really just going after my game? And if I did, I felt so good. And then it's knowing what's going to get me the points. When I play, I know my slice serve is going to get me the points. So it's really understanding, you know, your individual strength on how you are effective against other people, you know, what you can do to other people. So I know my slice going at righty's backhand is going to get me points. I know big topspin heavy forehand is going to get me points. And I also like to come to the net a lot. When I was a teenager, I learned how to become a serve and volley player. So, you know, I like to chip and charge. I like to serve and volley. These are all the things I know are going to get me points. Things that are going to make me lose maybe is if someone can really pin me in the backhand corner, especially now. When I was a junior, one of my best shots was a two-handed backhand. But from teaching tennis, I always had 4 or 5 balls in my hand. So I developed a really good slice, started to lose the feel of the two-hander. So now I actually, you know, have a one-hand topspin and a one-hand slice. And, you know, I can hit it pretty good. But if someone can go, okay, I'm going to make you hit 20 balls in a row with a heavy topspin at your backhand, that's a match I don't want to be in. You know, so it's really understanding what you do well and what's going to get you in trouble and trying to put yourself in those situations that's going to give you the best chance to win. So these are all things that's going to help you guys, you know, knowing yourself, really knowing yourself, knowing those small percentages of things you need to work on that's going to give you the greatest reward is what I'm really trying to pinpoint tonight by pointing out what I'm saying and what people like yourselves are thinking and what works for them. Okay, so now we're going to get into 2 questions. I'm going to put this 2-in-1. It's a 2-in-1. Okay. Why do you practice and why do you also look for your practice or your coaching online? So Gordon, with you, why do you practice tennis What are you trying to accomplish with your practice? And why do you like to go online to get a lot of your instruction?
Right. Well, until the first lockdown we had in England in March, I used to have lessons from two fantastic professionals, one every week, generally twice a week. They're absolutely superb pros, and they both play in our county team. And then with the lockdown, that stopped. You couldn't see them. You could get close to them. You had to go to, public courts or park courts to get lessons with them. And one of them had said to me, go online and look at Del Potro. And I went online, Del Potro, looked at Federer, came various sources, saw you, and I hadn't done any online stuff, and was fascinated. I think you actually explained, there was an earlier one about, you explained the problems of the continental grip, which was absolutely superb, fantastic explanation. Subsequently I've used quite a lot of people online, but I'm afraid I don't follow through on them. I buy their courses and abandon them, but you get the imagination. You seem to be able to hit exactly what the point is, and I find it much better just to keep to what you're teaching me. You've got the serve very, very consistent now, and it's very fast and it's very good. And you like the slice serve. You said feel sorry your opponent, so that's pretty good. I love to practice because I will probably go back and compete again on ITFs, and now is a chance to work hard on it. Mrs. T, who she plays really well, and we play together. And the other thing is, there's some people you need to compete with, and some people you can practice with. And at the moment in lockdown, we have to keep to our local area, and anybody who's in our bubble. So I'm doing more practicing than competing at the moment. But it's a unique opportunity, really, to develop stuff which you wouldn't do when I was going to my coaches. It was like, I've got to play this tournament next week, and last week I had this problem. How do I solve it? Now it's more, you've got a long down period to try and make fundamental changes in technique with the serve, rather than worrying about the next match in 3 or 4 days or the next tournament. I go with what Rick and Brad say. We all have enormous pleasure out of hitting a ball.
Yeah. And I will say,
thank you for your work.
And I think that's one of the things that is different about our online instruction is I'm heavily into the challenges, if you guys haven't noticed, and then this Next Level University. And so the 3 guys that are on tonight, very few people, no one really in the last year has taken more advantage of the platform than these guys. And that's why they're on tonight, is that, they're getting the course material that they can watch, but they're also sending in a lot of videos and getting a lot of feedback, and therefore experience a lot of improvement. And then as you can also tell, like, I know these guys, these guys are my friends, and I've actually met Brad and Rick in person, but not Gordon. But I feel like I know Gordon just as much as you two guys, and that's the power of online instruction. So, Brad, for you, why do you practice, and why do you like online instruction?
Just to be brief, I think just from talking, Gordon and Rick are more advanced than I am as a player. I really just started a couple years ago. So practice, forehand, backhand, every shot I have to work on. And it's the Bruce Lee 10,000 kicks. I'd rather practice one thing a lot and get good at it, get it baked in, get it honed in, and then move on to the next thing, rather than practice 10,000 things and not be any good at any of them. And so if I play and I find that I hit 1 or 2 overheads into the net, then okay, in practice, I can hit, in a match, I might hit let's say 10. 10 would be a lot of overheads for me to hit in a match. If I can hit 4 times that many in a fourth the time in practice. And I can get, okay, I gotta not bring my head down. I gotta, do this. And then it sort of bakes that one thing in. So that's why I like practice. It's from you. I used to just go out and practice and just hit and not even think about it. Now I go out with a purpose and I go out with a reason. What am I trying to improve? And I always go out with my camera, my video camera. In fact, tonight I was out practicing. I'll probably send you a video because I wasn't happy with something I did and let you take a look at it. And it's just, that's the beauty of the online thing. It's convenient. It's it's my timeline. My day is completely different than any other day. And it always doesn't fit in with a tennis pro. And I lived a long time in a small town where we didn't have access to things like this. So the online community has really helped me improve my game.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, you say that the 2 players on with you tonight, you feel are more advanced than you, but it's a testament to your studying of the game, because when I watch your technique, when you send in your technique, it is really, really good. It's way better than you realize. And just like you had you thought you were like a low 3-0, and your coach the other day who saw you play is like, you're like a strong 3-5 Borean 4-0. And when I watch your strokes, a lot of videos you've sent in, besides hitting the ball, have been shadow strokes. And I watch your shadow stroke. I'm like, there's people been playing 30 plus years, don't have near the technique that you have. And it's because you study the game and you are always working on it and you're obsessed. And so your technique has improved tremendously over the year plus that we've known each other. It's really been awesome to see. So,
well, thanks to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Rick, what about you? Why do you practice? I know you love to practice. We've known each other for years now. You've been a Next Level University member for 3+ years, and I also got to train with you in Cincinnati, which was a lot of fun. And I just know that you are one of those players who we've talked about your tournaments together. We've talked about a lot of experiences in your tennis, and I know that your injuries, and you always seem to come back stronger. Why do you put such an emphasis on practice and online instruction? And by the way, a lot of people don't. Now, if you're watching this tonight, you probably do. But why this is unique, if you go to most clubs, they just want to play their match. They don't want to learn anything. Like once they get to a 3-5, they don't want to learn anything new. And they just want to show up on Sunday and play their match. So why are you not like most of the players at your club?
Well, I practice because I enjoy it. One, I can practice on my own. If I don't have somebody to hit with, I'll go to a public court and practice my serve. Got to really enjoy it, but I practice to get better. I want to get better every year. I want to raise the bar. If I'm playing in our league, it's a B inter-county, there's an A. I probably won't get there, but I'm playing men's 3. I want to get up to men's 2 or have a better winning record in men's 3. It's that drive to get better, and practice makes perfect. If you're not practicing the different aspects of tennis, then chances are you're not going to go as far as you want it to go. If you want to be better, you need to put in the time to get better. It just doesn't. And watching online tennis is good, but you got to practice drills, and that's why I like on the online university Next Steps, because a good example is the 7-day challenge. It forced me to go every day and to practice and go to the next level. And that's what I love about it. I didn't really watch too much. Then really this year I got really into it in the summertime, and it was totally worth it. I also like getting feedback on video because you don't realize what you're doing until you do it on video. You might think, oh, look good on that forehand. And then when you see yourself on video, it doesn't come out that way. You don't really look like Roger Federer, but there's certain little quirks that you do that need to get fixed. And as long as you're okay with constructive criticism, then yeah, video analysis is great. And this university course that you offer, to me, it's unlimited on the videos. I know it's not. I probably submitted about 15 to 20, and I thought that was a lot. After about 12 or 13, I was taking advantage of you. But this is if I'm doing 15 in a year, 15 video feedbacks from you, that's totally worth it. A video review on online tennis through anybody else is $40 US. So there you go. It just pays for itself.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rick. So, Rick, we heard most of that, but just to summarize what Rick was saying is he likes to set goals. He likes to play tournaments. Rick really is competitive. And so it's trying to get to that next level. He also enjoys to practice. And Rick is one of the more active people with sending in their videos. And, Next Level University, which you guys have been getting emails on, these are 3 members, and they're 3 of the people that take advantage of it. To me, and I want you guys to really ask yourself, why do you like online instruction, and what are you looking to get out of it? And I think that you have got to, this is whether you buy my courses, whether you buy, Essential Tennis, whether anybody, I think you have to take it to the next level of, even if you don't send in videos, you have to take it to the next level of just watching. It's one thing, and you'll learn a lot. You'll get a lot of aha moments. But why I created Next Level University is to take things to the next level. It's like you have every single one of my courses I've ever made. We're also adding the challenges now to where you can get access to that. I give you guys the tennis cons. The current tennis con I don't give you right away because we have so many other instructors involved. So I can't just give it to you right away, but then I usually put it in your library like two or 3 months later. So you literally get all my courses, and it just keeps growing. But the idea is to go in to the courses. It's like anything you can think of, like, man, my serve is off, my forehand's off, my strategy's off. It's to really tap into your 10%. That's how I want people to use Next Level University, is to tap in your 10% and go, okay, I've got to focus on this for this month. Like, this is my big rock right now that I'm focused on. We talked about the 5 big rocks. This is my big rock, and this is like the part within the big rock I've got to fix. And so I can watch a video, find out what's wrong, listen to the instruction, see the drills that I'm supposed to do, and then go out and work on it, film myself. Now, even if you just film yourself and you don't send me a video, because some people, I don't think, maybe you're worried about the technology, or you don't want me to look at it. I don't know what it is really. Most people don't send in videos, but at least go watch yourself, because right there, just that action of going to watch yourself, you're gonna learn a lot. I've actually been filming myself lately more, and I'm watching it going. I'm going, oh, I actually like the way that looks. It actually looks better than I thought. And then there's other shots where I'm like, oh, I thought I looked better than that. Like, I want to change that little thing there. So you learn a lot. And then to take it to the next level, if you send me a video, I see things that most people don't see. Like, how many times I've analyzed someone's video and I point out what's wrong and the drill they need to do, I usually get an email back like, oh, I didn't even see that, or I thought it was something else. So it's an opportunity for you guys to unlock literally thousands of dollars of courses, but then also send in your videos. And, of course, I'm trying to put food on the table for myself to eat, but when you look at the price, it really is a labor of love. The deal is heavily in your favor if you take advantage of it. Like, these 3 guys who are some of my favorite guys, I'm think they'd be the first one to tell you financially wise they're winning in this deal. Right? Brad, would you say you're winning in the overall investment versus what you're getting out of it because you've taken so much action?
It's an insane deal. It's a steal. There, I can tell you, because I've ordered other courses online like Gordon. I've done all sorts of things. I take a lesson from my pro. It's $85. This for a year to get this much stuff and this much value, and then the videos on top of it is an absolute steal. I would say to anyone thinking about it, do it. $199 for a year. It's an investment in yourself. I would absolutely say do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah. What about you, Gordon? How you feel like you're doing out there? I think you're a smart man. How's your investment working out for you?
For me?
No, for Gordon.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if he's hearing me.
Is that
Maybe
for
he's
me?
Yes. Gordon, how is your investment working out in Next Level University?
As you know, I signed my wife up to it. Well, I signed Mrs. T up for it, didn't I? About
yes, you
4
did.
or 5 weeks ago. So
yeah,
his endorsement. My wife signed up for it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, and your analysis on a video was absolutely superb. You picked something on my forehand. You said, you're not closing up. You're opening up. You're opening up. And I thought, yeah, you're right. Close. And you've helped a lot with the serve. And I think the other bit I really liked is you have such respect for the old guys. And I course, and I tapped into the Fred Stolle serve, which was actually how I learned to serve in 1967. And that was hugely helpful going back. I've been playing a lot with my first opponent from 1967. His serve was all over the place. I said, do exactly this. And his improvement is actually signed up to you guys as well. So, yeah, it's fantastic. I'm really, really appreciative. And I like the community. It's great talking to Brad, talking to Rick. I look forward to playing Mark Davis and playing with you guys. It's superb. And actually, the challenges you set are quite tough. And it makes you do it. And, that 13 medals or whatever, those weren't actually easy. So you were being pushed to a certain level. And then when you competed, you were actually reasonably tough, even though I wasn't playing any matches. So having the challenges kept me up to the mark. So thank you, Pete.
Yeah. Guys, if you guys haven't done any of my challenges yet, even if you don't sign up for Next Level University and you just want to do the challenges individually, do the challenges, because what I love about the challenges is, number one, you get lifetime access to it. But we all know, like, if it's going to be like doing a diet or whatever, it's like you usually have to like jump in big. You have to do something big to begin with, like kind of overdo it. And that's why I like to do the challenges. Like, okay, we're just going hardcore serve for the week, or we going hardcore forehand. And then you have all these drills that you have to do. And then if you want to send in your video, you can. And, lots of times if you send in your video, I also like give prizes and everything. Like I sent Gordon 13 medals, overseas, where one day he was draped all in them. So, it's super important to dive all in. Rick, your final thoughts on Next Level University.
Oh, well, I like it because you're left-handed. Not the reason why I do it, because I'm a lefty, but that's a big one for me. It's funny. I'm just speaking as a left-handed person. When I have an instructor that is passionate and he's also a lefty, and the videos that he's doing are he's using his left hand, it makes it much easier for me, especially when, for example, pronating your serve. Well, it's hard to do when you see a right-handed person trying to do that online. When you see a left-handed person doing it online, you get it. That's just a small sample piece. When you're left-handed, things are a little difficult watching online if it's not a left-handed person doing it. You got to reverse everything. but I truly think I think you're really good at all aspects of every video. One other thing is you text people on a personal note, which you don't see very many online instructors doing that. So you obviously care about your students, and that's a big deal to me. You know, that's my buy-in right there. So no, it's totally worth it.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys for being on, and why I brought these three on tonight is that, and I put in the link for Next Level University. We're going to be closing it up this weekend. We'll be live Monday with Gigi, by the way. So make sure you guys look for an email on that. It's going to be fun. But, you know, I really like the people who take action. You know, it's these three. For what the biggest joy I get out of Next Level University is not just somebody sign up for the $199 for the year, which obviously I like that. Of course I like that. But it's the people who take the most action, who take the most advantage of me. That's my favorite, because then I like get to know you guys and we build a relationship. And I really want Next Level University to go to the next level. I want people to get, the people who sign up, I want you to get more involved. I'm even thinking, I think I'm going to talk to you guys offline. We'll see how many people sign up for Next Level University. But it'd be cool to even have, and have unlimited members, but at least have you three guys, like a Next Level University panel, to where we come up with, you know, how can we make it better? But really, to make it work the most for you guys, you get all the courses, which right there, it's worth it. Okay. But you're going to get the most out of it if you're more like Rick, Gordon, and Brad. And all you need is your phone. That's all you need. You don't need anything else but to just have the courage to turn on your camera phone. If you can't figure something out, Gordon sent me a lot of emails sometimes where, like, you know, he'd write me emails and he'd go, "You're confusing me. I don't understand, you know, what this email means or that email is, or am I signed up for this or that, or how do I do this?" I'm there to help you guys. You know, the more you use the resource, it's there. So, you know, I want you guys to sign up, and I want you guys to sign up for a gym membership that you go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, Next Level University is going to work for you if you show up to it, if you go through the courses, if you're asking me questions, if you're sending in videos. It's going to be a no-brainer, like it was for these three guys. If you sign up and you're like, "Well, I never logged into the course all year." I mean, I got some emails from people, you know, this last week who are like, "Well, I never really used it." It's like, well, I understand that, but you certainly have gotten a lot of emails from me over the year. So it's not like you didn't know I was around anymore. You know, it's if you ever lose your user and password, just send me an email and I'll get you in. I'm always excited to get your video. So, you know, if you are somebody who's always tuning into online videos on YouTube, or you're tuning into, you're opening your emails, you're showing up for live streams, you know, if you're going that far with online instruction, that's good. But if you really want it to work for you, the best way is to put the work in. You know, I'm just being flat out honest. You know, you're doing a good job by like watching videos, but to really reach your full potential, what you really want to use online instruction for is to like use it, you know. And I've literally, Next Level University, I really think it's like a gym membership with a personal trainer. It's like you have all the equipment with all the videos, and then I'm your personal trainer, and you can use me to get advice and to get better. And we build a real personal relationship like these guys here. And so I really appreciated you guys coming on tonight. And I'm going to put the link in one more time. And I just hope that you guys have inspired some people tonight. Hey, Noah. I hope that these three have inspired some of you, at least one or two of you, to sign up and to make up your mind that you're going to, you know, really use the program. Use it. Just don't buy it to buy it. Okay. Thank you guys for being on. And thanks everybody who was watching tonight. And we're going to sign off now. And I'm going to go to sleep. And Gordon's probably going to go to sleep. And Brad, are you going to sleep too? What are you going to do?
I'm going to watch the Hawkeyes.
He's going to
Play
watch the
Indiana.
Hawkeyes. Rick, what are you going to do? Play with your dog, Noah?
No, I played with him when I got home. I'll probably just watch Stephen Colbert.
Okay, Stephen Colbert. All right, guys. Well, you guys all have a good night. Thank you for being on. I put in the link to sign up for Next Level University in the
Thank you,
chat.
Pete.
If you want to sign up. And we'll see you guys later. And thanks, everybody, for watching tonight. Still haven't ended. I'm having trouble ending the broadcast.